Welcome to Agoracom Small Cap Breaking News, your daily go-to source for the best small cap headlines for over 65 million investors since 2007. And welcome to the Deep Dive, The Learner. Today, we're really zeroing in on some breaking small cap news. We've picked out a few headlines we think are packed with potential insights. Our goal is pretty straightforward. Cut through the noise, find those really significant developments, the kind of news that might signal a real shift and make you want to dig deeper. We're looking past the headlines to the actual results.
Exactly. We've got 4 companies on our radar today, spanning quite different sectors. We're talking digital infrastructure, gold mining, fintech, and even aerospace and defense manufacturing. The idea is to pull out the key numbers, the milestones, the strategic moves that really matter, giving you a solid starting point.
All right, let's jump right in. First headline, this one's generating some buzz in digital infrastructure. Breaking now. HIVE Digital Technologies Ltd, that's ticker HIVE on the TSXV Venture, and also on the NASDAQ. The headline reads, HIVE Digital Technologies completes first 100 mW build-out in Paraguay, sets the stage for aggressive global expansion. Wow, 100 megawatts fully built out. That's a serious piece of infrastructure.
It really is. And the crucial thing here, the learner, isn't just that phase 1 is built. It's that this 100 mW facility, the Iguazu facility in Paraguay, is fully energized. It's operational right now. That immediately gives them a huge base to scale up their Bitcoin mining and, their high-performance computing. They've got a 200 mW substation ready.
Okay, and the press release gives some pretty compelling results to back this up. They've got immediate capacity to scale up to 5 exahash per second. That's EHs of mining power just at this site. And they expect 8,000 of their own BUZZ miners online by the end of April. Are these BUZZ miners a big deal for them?
They seem to be, yes. They're proprietary, likely designed for efficiency, which is always key in mining economics, affecting their cost per Bitcoin. Plus, they're expecting 20,000 Bitmain S21 plus units before the end of May. Add all that together, and you're looking at a pretty substantial boost in their total computing power, their hash rate.
Right, and their projections are, ambitious feels like a statement. They're targeting 11.5 EHs total hash rate by the end of Q2 2025, and then aiming for 25 EHs by the fall, expecting to mine over 12 Bitcoins a day. If they hit that, the revenue implications are significant.
Absolutely. Scaling that quickly, especially in a field like crypto mining that moves so fast, investors will definitely be watching that execution. They also made a strategic hire, Carlos Anibal Torres Perez, an engineer with deep experience in Paraguay's energy sector. That signals they're serious about smooth operations there.
Gotcha. And here's a key quote from the CEO, Aidan Killick. He says, "Our expansion from 6.5 EHs to 11.5 EHs has been paid and we're moving fast." He really emphasizes this was funded through disciplined treasury management, and notably no debt, no shareholder dilution. In a sector that just eats capital, that's quite a statement, isn't it?
It really is. Pulling off this kind of expansion without taking on debt or diluting existing shareholders is, frankly, quite remarkable. So for you, the learner, the takeaways on HIVE, rapid funded expansion in Paraguay, those big hash rate targets, focus on green energy, and that financial discipline. Watching how they navigate the crypto market volatility while scaling will be key.
Okay, let's shift gears now. Moving to precious metals. Breaking news from Mako Mining Corp. You can find them under MKO on the TSX Venture and Mako on the OTCQX. Headline, Mako Mining strikes gold with record Q1 revenue amid rising prices and expansion drive. Record revenue. That always catches the eye, especially in gold. Let's get into the numbers.
Indeed. Q1 2025, they pulled in a record $31.5 million in gold revenue. That's a very strong financial result, obviously helped by production, but also, importantly, by those higher gold prices we've been seeing.
Right, and the release digs into the operational result underpinning that. They mined 11,495 ounces from their San Albino mine in Nicaragua. And check this out. An average grade of 7.32 grams per ton gold. That sounds really high grade, doesn't it?
It is definitely high grade, and grade is critical. Higher grade means more gold from less rock. That usually translates to lower cost per ounce and better profitability. Plus, their mill at San Albino ran at 608 tons per day. That's 22% above its design capacity, with a solid gold recovery of 85.3%. Those efficiencies feed directly into that record revenue number.
Okay, so they mined nearly 11,500 ounces, milled over 12,200 ounces, and crucially, they sold 10,817 ounces, generating that $31.5 million. The average price they got was $2,890 per ounce. So yeah, that price environment is certainly helping.
It absolutely is. And look at their cash position. Even after paying $6.5 million for the Moss Mine acquisition in Arizona, their cash balance was still $14.2 million as of mid-April. That's pretty healthy. And they're expecting more cash soon. $1.5 million from a bond release, another $1 million from a silver option. So strengthening the balance sheet.
The CEO, Akiba Leisman, puts it this way in the release, quote, "Record high gold prices are having a significantly positive effect, which allowed Mako to reinvest in exploration in Nicaragua, rapidly advance the Eagle Mountain project in Guyana, and acquire the Moss Mine in Arizona, all while increasing cash." It's like they're using this strong period to really fuel growth across the board.
Exactly. It paints a picture of strategic execution. So, the learner. Key points for Mako. High-grade production, strong financials with record revenue, growing cash balance despite acquisitions. And that expansion pushed Nicaragua, Guyana, now the U.S. Maintaining those high grades while they expand will be something to keep an eye on. No debt mentioned either.
All right, next up, the fast-moving world of digital finance, or fintech. Breaking news from DeFi Technologies, Inc., ticker DeFi on the CBOE Canada, and DTTF over-the-counter. Headline: DeFi Technologies and partners to launch Kenya Digital Exchange in landmark deal with Nairobi Securities Exchange. Wow, partnering with a national stock exchange like the NSE in Nairobi, that feels like a big step for digital assets in Africa.
It really does. This collaboration to launch the Kenya Digital Exchange, KDX they're calling it, could be pretty transformative for the African fintech scene. The core idea is building a fully regulated platform, that's key, for trading and tokenizing real-world assets. Think equities, debt, commodities, funds, but using blockchain tech.
Tokenizing real-world assets.
Yeah.
That could genuinely open up access to different kinds of investments for people in Kenya, couldn't it?
Potentially, yes. It could significantly boost market liquidity and just make things more accessible. And they also mentioned Valor ETPs. Those are exchange-traded products giving exposure to digital assets. They expect those to list on the Nairobi Securities Exchange itself by Q3 2025. Approvals are apparently in advanced stages, so that creates another regulated way for investors to get involved.
Interesting. And the release talks about the revenue model for this KDX. It sounds quite diverse. Trading fees, listing fees, margin lending, staking, custody, yield generation, even initial exchange offerings or IEOs.
Right. It suggests they've thought about multiple income streams, which could make the business more robust. They're planning a phased rollout through Q2 2026, so it's not happening overnight. It's a measured approach for something quite new in that market. And Kenya itself is interesting over 6 million crypto users already. High smartphone usage. There's a potential user base there.
The founder of DeFi Technologies, Olivier Rossi Newton, had a quote: "The Kenya Digital Exchange is more than just a platform. It's the infrastructure for a digital financial future one, where Kenya can lead Africa in market access, innovation, and economic inclusion." Certainly bold vision for finance in the region.
It is. So for you, the learner, things to consider. DeFi Technologies getting in early, that first mover advantage for a regulated digital exchange in a major African market. The growth potential in a region with high crypto adoption is there, and that strategic tie-up with a traditional player like the NSE is significant. Of course, navigating the specific Kenyan regulations will be absolutely crucial to watch.
Okay, final one for today. Let's look at aerospace and defense. Breaking news from Omnilight Industries Canada, Inc., trading as OML on the TSX Venture. Headline: Omnilight Industries reports record revenue in 2024, signals strength in aerospace and defense markets. Another record revenue story. Seems to be a theme today.
It certainly is. Omnilight hit $15.9 million in revenue for their fiscal 2024. That's a hefty 28% increase from the year before. Shows real strength in their niche.
And the financial details in the release look, well, pretty compelling. Adjusted EBITDA nearly quadrupled to $1.6 million. Adjusted free cash flow hit $1.8 million, way up from about $500,000 the year prior. And they turned a profit net income of $615,000 compared to just $90,000 in 2023. Those are strong bottom line improvements.
They really are. And they did this while maintaining a $3 million cash position and, importantly, zero debt. That's a clean balance sheet. Also very significant. Record bookings of $5.0 million just for the first quarter of fiscal 2025. That suggests the momentum is carrying forward strongly into this new year. Gives them some visibility, too, with a $4.6 million backlog starting the year.
The company says this performance comes from ramping up work on U.S. missile defense programs, plus expanding into new areas like U.S. qualified fasteners and castings. So some diversification within their core market is working for them.
Seems so. And the CEO, David Robbins, had this quote: 2024 performance reflected our core strengths. We can respond to critical customer demands in months, not years, and scale throughput to deliver higher earnings due to our structural operating leverage. hmm That highlights their agility and efficiency, which is crucial in A&D.
Right. So for you, the learner, key points on Omnilight. Very strong financials in a sector with tailwinds right now, big jumps in revenue and profits, zero debt, and those record bookings pointing to continued growth. Their ability to leverage the current geopolitical climate in defense spending seems key.
You know, what really stands out across all four of these updates, the learner, is the focus on tangible achievements. You've got HIVE with energized facilities, Mako with actual gold mined and record revenue dollars, DeFi with a concrete partnership with a major exchange, Omnilight with record revenues and confirmed bookings. These aren't just plans or projections floating out there, they're indicators of things actually happening now, showing execution.
Absolutely. So we hope this quick run through, this deep dive into these breaking headlines has given you some valuable starting points, maybe spark some aha moments about what's driving these small cap companies. But remember, this is really just the beginning of the research process.
Exactly. Each story raises more questions, doesn't it? Like, how sustainable is HIVE's growth given crypto's ups and downs? Can Mako keep hitting those high grades as they expand operations? What hurdles, regulatory or otherwise, might DeFi face launching KDX in Kenya? And for Omnilight, how do they manage potentially concentrated customer risk even as demand grows? Lots to think about.
Right. And maybe a final thought to leave you with, the learner. In this flood of information we all face, being able to quickly spot companies delivering real, tangible results and understand why. Well, that can be a real edge. It makes you wonder what other sectors, maybe flying under the radar right now, might be showing similar signs of compelling progress. Your learning journey definitely continues.